Hello everybody and welcome to my review of the Transformers Studio Series SS-03 Crowbar from the Transformers Dark of the Moon movie in 2011. So to start off, let's take a look at the packaging. So as with all these Studio Series figures here, on the front of the packaging we have the 03 here with the picture of Crowbar. Got the Dark of the Moon logo there. Crowbar. Decepticon logo. On the side here we have another picture of Crowbar. Crowbar is one of the dreads. You can see, you can't notice that with his chain dreads there. Got the Autobot symbol up there. On the back of the packaging we have a picture of him in robot mode, him in his vehicle mode, his backdrop, and the other figures from the first wave. It says transforms in 20 steps. On this side, we got a picture of him again. Deluxe Class, Studio Series 03. So as for his backdrop here, it's from that scene where the dreads are running down the highway here. Fold these out, you got the 03 and the Autobot logo over there. Dark of the Moon. You can set him up in here. Oh, maybe. I don't know about it if his dreads will let. Yeah. Don't really have room. Set him in front of it. Oh yeah. Getting this out of the way here. So my copy, I'm not sure if this is like a common thing or not, but my copy, since I've stored it in vehicle mode, his little dreads just kind of flare out. They don't really go down at all. But the dreads are actually like they look like chain links. They're not like chain links, but chain for like a how do I describe it? Like a bicycle chain, if that makes any sense. But here he is in his robot mode. So I do believe, and I might be wrong here, correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe that this guy is in itself a repaint of a Dark of the Moon toy line Dread figure. I'm not sure which one. I don't have that one, so I'm not too sure on that, but I believe this itself to be a repaint. And then in the Studio Series for number 30, we have another repaint of this. But it you can kind of tell with the engineering on it that it's not a Studio Series figure, that it's actually a repaint of an older one, because the engineering on it is not the best. It's very simplistic with the transformation. But from the back here, and this whole section on the back, I honestly don't even know if I have that transformed right. It kind of just sits there. I don't really know. It doesn't really fold up any more than that. It kind of just chills out back there, and then on the side of his arms here. But I kind of just wish that they could have put a little bit extra engineering into it to kind of hide some more of the kibble. But, you know, can't complain too much. Alright, so I forgot to add this earlier, so I'll put it in now. For his articulation here, his head is on a ball joint and a swivel joint, so it can look all sorts of directions and then slide in and out. He does have kind of like two shoulder joints here. He has this hinge joint and then the ball joint at the end. So his arms can go full 360 and then in and out, up and down like that. He has rotation at the bicep. He has an elbow joint, and he has wrist kind of articulation. That's more for the transformation, but I'll count that. He has no waist swivel, but if you want to count this joint here, he does have waist fold. His hips are on a ball joint, so they can swing in and out, up and down, whatever, kick out about that far. Holy cow. Kick back about that far before I get stopped by a cable. He has a rotation at the hips, and then he has a knee joint right there. And then he does have kind of like an ankle front and forward joint. That's also due to transformation, but I'll count that. But with that being said, just forgot to do this earlier, so I'll add it now. So back to the original part of the video. But with that being said, move on to some comparisons here. So we have Crowbar next to the Studio Series 28 Barricade. As you can see, Crowbar is quite a bit bigger than Barricade here. Barricade only comes up, excuse me. Barricade only comes up to like Crowbar's elbow. But they look pretty good together. Get that one out of the way here. I can bring in the Studio Series 02 Stinger here. These guys are from the same wave of releases. And again, Crowbar is quite a bit bigger. But they still look pretty good together. Getting him out of here. Bring in the Studio Series 14 Ironhide here. Since these two show up in the same scene together, in fact, I think it's Ironhide who kills Crowbar. But they look really good next to each other, I think. Although I still wish they could have hid some of the kibble better on this one, but yeah, that's alright. Getting him out of here. He does come with two accessories, and they are these two little mace things here. Here, I'll show you. Yeah, he just holds on to them like that. I'm not gonna put the one in the other hand because this other hand is kind of molded weird. I don't know if it's damaged or not, and I don't really want to go messing with it too much, but that's how his little weapon looks in his hand there. Pop that back out of here. Now on to transformation with this guy. It's, again, like I was saying earlier, it's not the most complex. It's kind of simplistic. Kind of just unfold everything and it goes into place. But let's go ahead and start here. Let's see, where should we start? Okay, so you can fold his feet. Fold the wheel down and then the feet back like this, and then that'll kind of line up with this piece up here. Just kind of keep those shut. You can rotate at the knees here, and then you can come up here, kind of just separate this whole section, get the grill of the car out. You can open this whole section here and fold his little dreads up and in like that. And you can open this and this. And then you kind of want to, let's see, fold it down in half like this. Then you can fold his top dreads down. Just trying to do this all without pushing things out of the way too much. And you can bring this whole roof panel down. And it won't tab in yet, but you can just kind of get it there, get it out of the way. You can take this section here, fold that up. This will be the hood and windshield. Just kind of get that, there we go. Now, move his leg down and you can bring his whole shoulder up like this. And spin it at this joint here like that. And then you can fold his hand down in. And this here will just tab all together up here. Once you get it lined up. Like so. It's very simple, but it doesn't always like to work. So you just kind of rotate there. Bring this up. Fold his hand down in. And peg it in the back. And it's this middle section here that just doesn't want to line up. There we go. I just push that down and I'll clip in. And then you can take this section over here. Just kind of put that in there. And you can fold this part down. And it'll kind of hold there. Fold this front section in. We'll hold there. Now there's this little slot here and a peg there. Those will go together. Kind of close that whole section up there. You can repeat the same on this side. Just bring his leg up. Fold this out. It's a double hinge there. Oh, so there is this little tab here and these little slots in here that you can use to line this whole section up. If it'll let you. There you go. And then there's that tab there and the slot here that just fits together here. Now I'm looking at it, there's also a tab here and a slot here. So there's actually 2 points of connection here. There we go. Get on that side here. Okay. So once you got everything for the most part in place here, there we have him in vehicle mode. So his vehicle mode here is a Chevy Suburban. It's supposed to be like an FBI Suburban. Just kind of push it down a little bit more, make sure everything's in there right. So, in case you haven't gathered this by now, I don't really like this figure. I definitely think that there are ways that they could have made it a lot better. I also don't like the idea that it was repainted into, what is the other one? Crowbar. I forget what his name is, but they did repaint him into SS-03. And from what I've heard, I believe SS-03 is the one that runs on all fours. And they just totally missed that. They just took this one and was like, oh, it's a Dread, and painted it with some more bronze details and threw it out again. I'm not a big fan of this mold. I don't care for it. I think it's very simplistic. The transformation is fiddly. The robot mode is bendy. It just likes to fold on itself. And the vehicle mode really just doesn't hide much. This is his feet sticking out right here. I don't like that. I'm not a big fan of it. The overall vehicle mode itself does look good though. I definitely can see that this is a Chevy Suburban, especially with that big bow tie in the front there. The vehicle itself looks good. It's the figure itself that I'm personally not a big fan of. But moving them over here for some size comparisons. We have, I'll bring out the SS-04 Ratchet here, which you've seen a couple times. But it's a good chunky deluxe figure that I like showing comparisons with. But as you would kind of expect, these two are very close in size. A Hummer and a Suburban would be fairly close in size. I think Crowbar is a little bit longer, but Ratchet is a little bit taller if you count this thing at the top here. I think they look fairly decent together. Got no complaints. Let's get this one out of here. So as for that scene in the Dark of the Moon, I already showed off Ironhide in robot mode. So let's bring out SS-03 Sideswipe here. Not the Dark of the Moon Sideswipe, actually. Yes, the Dark of the Moon Sideswipe. So this is the convertible Sideswipe. So these are actually from both of them from that scene in the movie with the I forget what they call it, like Mexican standoff, where they're all aiming their guns at each other. And yeah, I think that this Sideswipe is, compared to the Suburban here, it is massive. I don't really think that. Yeah, I find it really hard to believe that a Corvette Stingray would be this big compared to a Suburban. But they're toys. Who really cares? The robot modes on these figures, and unfortunately I didn't show it off in this video, but the robot modes of these figures are actually really close. Like the sizes are really good together. They scale really a lot better in robot mode. But do a little height wise here. Let's do it from the grill. They're really about exactly the same length if you don't count the dreads sticking up here. Like bumper to exhaust pipe gun barrels there. Really close in size. But I'm out of here. Go ahead and transform him back into his robot mode here. You can take these front panels and just fold them back. They don't really peg into anything, they just fold back, and they don't really want to fold. Yeah, there we go. Okay, you can separate this front of the Suburban here, lift this up, push that back like so. And then I like to just kind of separate these back panels here and get this all wiggled up and out of the way here with the legs on both sides. Separate that. And then you can do the same here for this whole roof. Just kind of separate that. And then, so now we have his legs down here and his arms up here. The rest of this is just kibble. You just fold that down in, fold that down in, and then fold this out of the way. Come back more. There we go. So now you want to just like straighten his chest out up here. Bring his legs down and rotate them. And then you kind of move this out of the way, bring his feet down, and fold this wheel back, and then you can fold that back down. So I'll give you a different view of that. So you fold this up, fold his feet down, and the wheel back, and fold this back down. And like I said, the robot mode is foldy. It likes to do that. So just beware of that. You take this whole section here and just gonna bring it out. Get his little dreads down like so. Then you can kind of just close this. It doesn't really, or at least to my knowledge, it doesn't really have a specific place to go. It kind of just, you know, it kind of just pushes into there. You would think that this would go here, but then you got this gnarly curve in his back. And I found that if you pull that down, angle this up, he stands a lot straighter. But the back kibble is a little bit worse. But You can fold his arms down here, and down, and around. And this part, I hate this part. You're supposed to use a fingernail. You get up under here, and wow, look at that, it worked. I actually, right before recording this, I turned it from vehicle mode, because I store my characters in vehicle mode. But to start the video in robot mode, I actually had to take a whole chunk of this out with my fingernail, just to fold his hand out. It gets stuck in there sometimes, but then you just rotate his arm and fold that panel down. Rotate that, bring that down, rotate that, fold this panel in. Let's see if I can get it without taking a chunk out of it. Yep, there we go. Okay, and you just fold his dreads back. Mine don't go down on my copy just because they've been pushed up so much. But there we go. We have him back in his robot mode. So to finish this video off, I don't really know what to say. I'm not the biggest fan of this figure. I own it pretty much for collection's sake. I have almost every Studio Series figure, and I'm not going to get rid of it or anything like that. I'm just going to keep it in its box. You know, I'm not a real big fan of this, and to be honest, I like SS-03. I forget what his name is. Somebody will tell me in the comments, but I forget what his name is. The repaint of this guy with the more of the bronze coloring, I'll make a video for it when we get there. I actually like that one better than this one. So 9 times out of 10, this guy kind of just sits in his box on my shelf. But that being said, it's not a bad figure. It's just compared to some of the other ones, it's definitely kind of weak. But yeah, anyways, I hope you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and stick around for my next videos. Have a good day.